What's up, boys? Road to Lamborghini, episode 8. We are back in the UK, so we've left Lisbon. We left this morning, not too early, it was like 10 a.m. the flight, but obviously I have to get there 2 hours before. So yeah, quick update. Obviously we're here, God willing. It was a nice flight, no delays, no nothing. So we're back in the UK. I do already miss Lisbon. Like, I've already been here for like 3 or 4 hours. Now I'm obviously making this video, but I am already missing it, which sounds weird because like I was only there for 5 nights, man. But the energy is different, right? I was basically there for 6 days, but the energy is different, man. The energy is different. In the UK, it's completely like, everyone's just like pretty drained. Like, they look like vampires. Everyone's just sad, right? Whereas in Lisbon, bro, I didn't see a single person sad. Everyone was happy at the beach, etc. It's different vibes. But yeah, today I just want to talk about like not giving up, which sounds very cliche, and also understanding that like you can continue living an amazing life pretty much forever as soon as you start making some good money online, right? So firstly, let's talk about giving up. So I saw an Alex Hormozy video where he spoke about like, what's the difference between champions and normal people, right? Or winners and losers, whatever you want to call it. And they were talking about it on the podcast. I think it was with Chris Williamson, right? Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozy. And they were saying, like, Alex Hormozy basically said, the difference is that winners don't know how to quit. Like, they don't have an off button, right? And I was thinking, like, that is so true. Because naturally, right, biologically or anything, it's very rare that these winners have, like, a huge advantage. Right now, yeah, sure, maybe there's some exact specific example. But, like, for example, especially in business, there is literally no, like, God-given gift. Right now, maybe if you're born into a rich family, whatever. But, like, in most cases, someone who's, you know, self-made, they weren't no different to you. They might have even had worse genetics. They might have even been more poorer. They might have even had more excuses than you, right? So why do winners win and why do losers lose, right? It's purely because they just don't have an off button. They just do not quit. Like, I've had so many times where I could have quit, and I know so many people that would have quit, but I just kept on going. And that's why literally I was able to just go to Lisbon. In a week or two, I'm planning to go to Valencia, to Spain, and I'm able to literally just travel the world and do what I want with my life. Right, at 17, bro, I'm not even 18 yet. I'm turning 18, just before mid-July, right? Like, bro, I'm not even technically a legal adult, whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm already able to travel the world, work online, make more than pretty much every other job, right? And do something I love. That's the key thing. And that's the second thing I wanted to talk about. It's not just not giving up, but also understanding that once you start making some money online, it becomes so much easier. Right? Or maybe not easier, but it becomes a lot simpler because you learn the game. It's like learning how to ride a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, even if you're rusty and you stop riding the bike for 6 months, as soon as you come back to it, you're going to still be all right. Like, you're not just going to get on a bike and fall off, right? Like, you know, it's one of those things that you learn and it's hard to unlearn, right? So what I mean is, like, once you get to I always say 3K a month online, 3K a month USD, as soon as you get to that stage, everything else is that simpler. Right? Because even if you go down and you become lazy and the next month you're at 7K a month and then next month maybe you lose money, whatever happens, you've now got the skill to make X, Y, and Z amount of money. That's why as soon as someone gets to 10K a month, it's like the reason why it's so important. It isn't because about physical 10K, because 10K you can blow very easily. It's not about that. It's about the fact that now they've got the ability to make 10K a month online for the rest of their life as long as they do what they know they have to do, because you already know what to do. Right? It's like, for example, think of an athlete, right? And the thing is, it's even better than an athlete, because an athlete, they get rusty and they have like injuries and they have things when they get older and stuff. But think of an athlete. If an athlete runs at a certain pace, right? Let's say his average 5K, or let's say he hits a 5K of like, I don't even know, what's a decent time for a 5K? It's like under 20 minutes is pretty good. So let's say he hits a 5K of like 17 minutes, right? Which is pretty good, crazy actually, right? If he hits a 5K in 17 minutes, then that means that for the rest of his life, obviously, again, it doesn't apply quite as well because it depends in terms of injuries and age. But technically, if there wasn't such things as injuries and age, which there aren't in business, really, then he can basically hit that same time whenever he wants. Whenever he actually fully trains and does the same things which he did in order to hit that 10K the first time in 17 minutes, he can do that again because he's already done it and he's proven that to himself. That's why it's so important to get to 3K a month online, because once you get there, you get to quit your job because it's like maybe slightly more than most jobs, right? Or at least the same amount. And now you can travel the world, it's online, and now you can build it up. And even if it doesn't work out after a couple of months, you can always go back and just make another 3K a month, right? And even if you get to 10K a month and then you fluctuate and then you go back down and then you go up and then you do whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, you can always bounce back. That's the best thing about making money online, is it's not like a job. right? It's like in a job, imagine you like quit for 2 months. They're not really gonna accept you back. Whereas in making money online, now, but the thing is, obviously you shouldn't quit. I'm not saying any of this. I'm saying this is like a sort of thing to tell you that the hardest part ever is to get to 3K a month. Once you're at 3K a month USD online, it becomes so much more simpler because now you know the game, you understand the rules, right? Now you just gotta play by the rules and keep on winning and keep on doing what you did to get in that situation and just 10x the volume, right? Or 5x the volume, whatever, right? But like, yeah, another thing, like, let me give you a practical example, right? Oh, that's disgusting. Sorry, boys, excuse me. But let me give you a practical example, right? It's like, imagine you get to 3K a month online. And then you're like, okay, I'm at 3K a month online. Now let me try and get to 10K a month online, right? And you decide, let's say you're, I don't know, still living with your parents, right, in Michigan. I was just actually on a call with a guy who's planning to join my like program, my one-on-one stuff next week. So we're hopefully going to be onboarding him, and he's from Michigan. So let's take that exact example. Let's say you're from Michigan and you live with your parents and you make 3K a month online. And now you're like, all right, you know what? I'm confident I can get to 10K a month online. And you're like, all right, let me go and live in Spain. Right? If you live in a nice place in Spain, like Madrid or somewhere around there, like a really nice place and a really nice accommodation, and you always take Ubers and you're eating out and you're etc., you might be spending quite a lot of money. Like you might be spending 5 to 10K a month, whatever, like especially if you're living a very nice luxury lifestyle there. Right? Now, obviously, I'm not saying you have a Lambo, but you're going to be living a nice, comfortable lifestyle. So if you go there for 2 months and you realize like, oh wait, I haven't locked in, like I've just been exploring the city, but I haven't actually locked in. Well, then if worst comes to worst, you move back to Michigan, you lock in for 2 months, you start making, let's say 5K a month or 10K a month. So let's say for example, let's just say pessimistic, you only make 5K a month and you do that for 2 months. So you've now stacked 10K because your expenses are basically zero because you live with your parents again. And then you can say, okay, you know what? I don't know if I'm ready for Europe yet. Let me try South America, right? And you go to Brazil or you go to Paraguay, or you go to Uruguay, or you go to like there's so many choices. Right? And then you're like, okay, this is amazing. And then you're like, all right, let me try Europe again. And then you try and then you get to 10K a month, right? And like, even if it doesn't work the second time, you've literally got unlimited tries. So what I'm trying to say here is please keep on grinding until you get to 3K a month online. By the way, isn't the sky absolutely beautiful here? Damn. That's God, boys. That is God. But yeah, like even if you don't make that much money after you hit 3K a month and you go down or whatever, you become lazy, you've now got the skill to make it back. And you know that deep inside, your subconscious mind knows it. Right? So what I mean by this is like in most places in the world, because USD is like basically one of the most powerful currencies, probably arguably the best currency. Obviously, right, I know this right now is like tariffs and stuff, but it's still basically the most like, the best currency, right? The strongest currency, pretty much, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But like, because of that, it means that if you make 3K a month online, yeah, sure, it might not be amazing living in the US, but in most places, like 85% of places on earth, or 80%, you can live like a king on 3K a month because the average wage in most places is like $300 a month, right? So what I mean by this, if you charge a high ticket offer and you know what you're doing, I'm getting really into specifics now. I'm speaking as if I'm speaking to my clients. Maybe if you guys like more of this sort of content, then you should follow my Instagram because I post way more specific stuff here. Usually these Road to Lamborghini episodes are more like just updates on my life rather than giving you guys actual extreme value on the specific thing, because obviously I don't know who's running an online business, whatever. But like anyway, if you're charging a high ticket offer, like let's say you're doing a fitness program, which a lot of my clients do, if you're charging 2K USD, you literally need like a client a month to live in 80% of places like a king. One client a month. And let's say you get one client a week. Well, that's 8K a month, right? USD. Right? And now if you get one client every single week, even if we're on a payment plans, it's going to start becoming 2K a week because the rest of the payment plans are going to start paying. You get what I'm saying? Right? So then you can literally live in Europe like extremely well, right? By the way, again, look at the sun. Beautiful here. But like my point is the hardest part is just the first step. The hardest part is getting to 3K a month online USD. As soon as you get there, like bro, the game becomes so much simpler. Not easier, but it becomes a lot simpler. Right? You know what to do. Like I know for a fact if I do a killer session every single day, I can continue living the dream life, which I dreamt of, which I am living right now. Right, and I know that. Like, there's no if, buts, maybes, oh, it might happen. I know for a fact I will. Now, if I choose not to do those killer sessions, that's my own choice out of either laziness or I've got other priorities. That's all it comes down to. That's literally all it comes down to, priorities. That's the word I've been looking for in the last, like, 2 or 3 weeks of my life, right? When I went to Lisbon, I'll be honest, my priority was not work. That's just me being completely brutally honest. It was not. Because if it was, I would have gotten more calls. I didn't, right? I got on like literally like 3 or 4 calls in the whole time. Not because I can't book calls, because I chose not to, My priority was exploring the place, seeing how beautiful it is, exploring the culture, you know, playing some football on the beach, spending some time with some amazing people, having some, you know, Portuguese food. I was about to say Brazilian food. Having some Portuguese food and, you know, having an overall amazing time. My priority was not how can I lock in. Right now, when I'm at home now, I'm planning to lock in over the next like week or two. Hopefully the Wi-Fi's all right. It has been all right today. But like, that's my goal now. Now, if I don't lock in, then that wasn't my priority. That's all it comes down to. Like, I'll leave you with one last thing, guys. Right, and then I'll end this episode and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Is Morgan J, right? You all saw it. If you haven't already, go on my last vlog. I think it's like you're 17, solo tripping Lisbon or something like that. I can't remember the exact title. But go on my last vlog. It's literally the video right before this. You see me meeting Morgan J. I'll tell you the number one thing I took away from Morgan J, you know, after like 30 minutes of speaking to him, right? Which is how much I spoke to him basically overall. Or 30, 35 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes. It was consistency. And it was the fact that I said something, and this really opened my mind. Is I said, we were speaking about like laziness, and I was like, yeah, I think that's what holds a lot of people back is like laziness. And he was like, no, I don't think it is. And I was like, okay, let's hear what he's going to say. Because most people always say laziness, right? And I agree with that. And he was like, no, I don't think it's laziness. I was like, okay, what do you think it is? And he said, it's just like priorities and want. It's like certain people are just happy living, you know, X, Y, and Z life. And that's perfectly fine. Right? Like, you can't force it on people. I've seen so many people, including myself, try and force it on other people. Like, you have some friends, you want them to make money online. Bro, I'm not even joking. Maybe it's not for them. Right now, do I believe that they'd definitely live a better life had they made money online? Arguably and objectively, yes. But it's subjective, man. Like, some people aren't willing to go for that struggle. Right? So just focus on you and understand, like, different people have different priorities. Certain people want to become footballers. Even if they don't. Like, I know a guy right now who's trying to do streaming. He's trying to be an influencer. He lives a very chill life. He lives an all right life. Right now, would I trade places? Absolutely not. If I was in his position, I would be angry. I don't even know if I'd be able to sleep. Like, I'm not even joking because I'll describe the situation in a second. But he's happy. And it's a cool life. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's an all right life, right? It's not awful. Anyway, he lives in England. I think he lives in London I think it's in Manchester. I don't know. He lives in England. He's got quite a like good social circle. He hangs out with his friends loads. He works McDonald's part-time. I think it's like, he said like 3 days a week. So it's not bad, like 3-4 days a week. He still lives with his parents. He's like 24 years old. You know, and you might think, oh, that's a shit situation. He's enjoying himself. Like, I see him a lot. I know he seems like one of those people who's actually happy. Right, he works at McDonald's part-time. He plays a lot of football. He's trying to become an influencer, so he posts loads. He goes live on like Kick or Twitch, I think, literally every single day. So like, he's grinding in that sense. Now, does he want to really make money online? No, he hasn't taken it seriously. Right, but that's his choice, right? You can't force it. So like, my point is it's like Morgan J said. It's not even just laziness. It's priorities, man. It's like, what do you really want out of life, right? And if you really want to become a famous comedian and make hundreds of thousands a month, like Morgan J, then you're going to end up like Morgan J, right? Morgan J, I literally spoke to him. He said for 18 years he's been doing this. For 18 years, 1-8, right? And now he's making between 200 to 300k a month, right? That's what he said. I'm just being honest. So like, he's making crazy money now, like 10k a day, but it hasn't been like this, right? He even said like, he counts it as like a backlog of all the money or all the years that he's spent trying to make this amount of money. Right, all those 18 years where he got underpaid, or 16 years, whatever, 15 years, right? Like, bro, imagine that, 18 years. I'm not even 18 years old. Wait, what, boys? I just clocked it. I'm not even 18 years old. He's been doing it for 18 years. 1-8. I'm not even 18 yet. So that just shows you, like, the consistency. Like, that's really hyped me up. That just shows you the consistency of, like, if you really want something in this life, you will get it. Like, he's been doing it for 8. Do you know how many times he must have, like, most people would have given up in this situation? Like, most people would have given up, like, at least 100 times in those 18 years. Probably more. Probably way more. Right? 18 years. 1-8. And it's only in the last 2 years, if you go on a social media, that he's actually been really popping off. Right? Or at least what I've known. Right? Or maybe it's like 3 years, but I've really seen him pop off over the last 6 to 12 months. So, like, it just shows you, man, consistency wins. Keep on going. Never give up. Don't turn off that off button. You know, and really decide what you want out of life and then go after it, right? Like, don't lie to yourself, boys. There's a fat bee! Boys, there's a wasp. Why is it chasing me, boys? We are running away from a wasp. I hate wasps, man. I'm not one of these, like, insect people, but wasps are one thing which I just hate. Because, like, bro, what is wrong with them? Like, I wasn't even next to it and it just starts getting aggressive. Does it want to fight, man? Does it want to fight? Alright. Anyway, that's weird. But yeah, we leave it uncut, boys. With that said, that's basically the end of this episode. I'll see you boys tomorrow. Peace out.